The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, the author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning from TFNN. Welcome to the December 31st, wonderful Wednesday, New Year's Eve edition of today's opening bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Perseverance Rhodes. Because I know that you and I just simply need to be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. And there's no better day to start than today on New Year's Eve. You know, make that resolution. But the thing is, be resolute about your resolution. Let's always remember that as we begin our day, that life happens for us, not to us. And when you and I, when we can make that small little shift, one word. One word, again, not one word's out there, but one word out there makes all the difference in the world, because what it really does is unleashes that power that is within inside you to be able to find the good in every set of circumstances. Let's also remember, as we begin our year out here, that there are really 6 laws of life. 6 laws. Let me give you law number 1. Be aware that you are created for success, not failure. Failure is just a way not to do something out there. We learn more from failure. Number 2, refuse to allow your mind to dwell on the worry, on the negative side of things out there. Always take a positive action in order to get the results that you're looking for. Worry is just simply fear, which is natural, but fear is really just nothing more than false evidence appearing real. Number 3, you got to train yourself to realize that nothing outside of yourself can control your life. Think about that. You see, you and I, we've got the power to decide how we're going to deal with our thoughts, and that is one of the most powerful tools that each of us have. Number 4, let's go ahead. I got to remember I gave you 3, right? Yeah. Number 4, direct everything in your life toward the service of others. Folks, the 2 highest levels of living are what I call the needs for contribution and growth out there. And if we direct ourselves towards the service of others, we will contribute and we will grow in ways that we never, ever even imagined. That's what I like to do each and every morning when I'm here with you. Number 5, know that you are important to this world and there's a niche in life for you. If you haven't found it, just keep plugging forward, folks. And number 6, just because you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. Think about it like this. Do you believe in a rainbow? Have you ever seen a rainbow out there? Maybe some of you have seen double rainbows. Have you ever seen a rainbow? Well, look, all it takes is a few prismatic, is that even a word out there? Droplets of mist, I think that it is. The sun shining in the right direction, and something that was invisible all of a sudden turns visible out there. Well, folks, it is New Year's Eve. Please make sure that you are safe. If you're out there partying, no drinking and no driving. Make sure you have a good time. Lots of great football on today. Lots of great football on tomorrow as well. Right now, we've got the Dow. Let's see, Dow futures here. Where are they at? Give me a moment here to go take a look at this. Kind of a flattish market out here. Dow futures up 14 points. No big deal. They're trading out at 17,955. S&P futures up 2 points. They're trading out at 2,079. NASDAQ futures trading out at 4,285. That's up 3 points. Goldilocks back $5, trading at 11.95 and a little bit of change. Silver's down 21 cents, trading out at 16.06. Light sweet crude trading to the downside. She's trading out at 52.81 as we speak out here. That's off $1.30. Natural gas back in nickel, trading at just over $3. A quick peek across the globe. We have Germany closed here today, but the FTSE over in the UK up 19 points. No big deal out there. Over in Asia last night, a mixed bag. The Nikkei off 279 points. The Hang Seng, that's down about 1.5%. The Hang Seng was up 103 points. That's about 0.5%, less than 0.5%. And over the Shanghai was up 72 points. Let's go take a look at the Shanghai, see how it finished off the year. That was up 2% out here. So on the daily chart, what the Shanghai actually has done, taken out its most recent highs. Most recent highs was December 29th. Took out that swing point. Took out the swing point here from December 22nd. In fact, let's take a look at the Shanghai. Let's go take a look at the year in review out here. If we take a look at the year in review, just to kind of get a feel, let's put things on a yearly chart out here. We don't do that too often, but, it is December 31st. Let's just simply go ahead and put this stuff on a yearly chart. You can see the Shanghai, basically nothing but a northerly direction. Opened up the year down at 2210, got down to a low of 2066, and then it went topside. Now, what from a yearly standpoint, what we can see here inside of the Shanghai, hopefully you're watching this on TigerTV. If you are, you get to see these charts in HD out here. In essence, what the Shanghai has done is gotten back to the high from January of 2009. Not totally back there. That high was 3651. You're at 3389. I would expect that is where the Shanghai is going to try to trade into. That's what's on its yearly chart. Hey, let's do this, just as long as we're out here. Let's take a look at the Hang Seng. Let's take a look at some yearly charts just to put some things in perspective. Means I'm going to have to go ahead and delete a couple patterns out here. So if we look at the Hang Seng, basically we can see it did nothing this year, right? The actual open inside the Hang Seng was 23,452. It closed at 23,605 out there. So kind of high wave-ish, doji style candle. Just says that it's just simply tired if you take a look at the yearly meaning with regard to its candle. If we look at, so we did the Shanghai, the Hang Seng. Let's look at the Nikkei. The Nikkei from an annual standpoint. How about this? Didn't do really anything substantial. Was the year before, was last year, 2013. That was really the big year for it. Right now, what we can see here inside of the Nikkei, trading back into its 2007 highs out there. If it can manage to get above that level, which is 18,300. In fact, let's just take a look at a retracement here. From its highs back here in 1990, down to the low that was put in right back here, looks like 2009. It's just on its way to make a 0.382 retracement, so 19,336. I suspect that's what it will do. That's on the Nikkei. If we look at the DAX, let's go look at the DAX, even though it was closed here today in celebration of getting their New Year's Eve off to a start. If we look at the yearly chart out here, okay, see the DAX, not really a ton of movement. It closed out last year. Last year's close was 95.52. You're closing 98.05 as we speak this year. Nonetheless, what the DAX is doing, if we take a look at the yearly chart, there's an A to B equals CD pattern. That A point coming off of the January 2003 lows. The B point being out here looks like, let's see, 2007 high, 81.51, 81.51 is the B point, the C point down here in 2009. So we can see here on an annual basis that what the DAX has done, it's made just a little over the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. Price objective 95.51. This says that it's on its way up to the 11,173 mark. That's on your DAX on a annual basis. Take a look at yearly candles out there, yearly charts. Let's go take a look at the we got to do this more often. Now let's go take a look at the FTSE out here. See what the FTSE, it's up 19 points today. No big deal. The FTSE actually down for the year. How about that? So here, if we take a look, come on, just delete. There we go. If we take a look at the FTSE, she has just simply been trading down for the year. Not by a ton. It opened up the year at 67.49, closing out somewhere around 65, 66 out here. So we can see here inside of the FTSE, the real key level for it is going to be its 1999 high out here. That's going to be out at 69.50. So I think it's important for us to pay attention to the FTSE. It's been in a really large consolidation, right? You figure the consolidation inside of the FTSE, if it ever does break it, much like our New York Stock Exchange out here, you're looking at about from 3,400 to 6,900, so about a 3,500 point consolidation. So if we do see the FTSE in 2015 take out the 69.50 level, again, this is a yearly chart that we're looking at, but that's really the consolidation pattern. That's what its move would suggest to us. Now, let's go take a look at our U.S. markets out here. In fact, let's look at a couple. Let's look at the U.S. markets. Let's look at gold. Speaking of U.S. markets, let's go take a look at gold, see what it has done on an annual basis. Now, how about this? Gold began the year, the open was at 1204.50. You're trading at 1197.20. 1197 versus 1204. You'd have to call that a little doji candle. Let's see if we can get the gold to finish out the year at 1204.50. Truly be a truly. Now, what does a doji mean here? As it's moving to the lows on the it means basically nothing. A lot of folks will tell you that it's a halfway marker. I believe that dojis on the way down don't mean a whole lot. On the way up, it's a whole different story out there. Of course, we can see last year, in 2013, gold had a nice big old bearish engulfing candle. Says that it's tired. That's a positive sign, but you can see gold basically doing nothing out here. I think that it's talked about. I think I've seen on some of the, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, I've seen on some of the news media where they talk about gold as one of the worst performing assets this year out here. It looks to me like it just, worst performing, it just simply didn't do anything. I say worst performing, you're assuming that it just simply took a major hit. I don't know about you, but I'm looking at this gold chart saying it basically is trading where it began the year at out there. That doesn't make it a good performing asset, but it doesn't necessarily make it necessarily the worst performing asset out there. Maybe I heard wrong. Let's take a look at silver. Silver trading a bit lower than where it closed out its year. It's right now trading back into, you can see what it's done on an annual base here. It's come back and it's tested the 2010 lows out there. I don't necessarily want to trust the volumes that I've got out here. It would suggest it's moving back into that level with the volume out here. That is the annual. Of course, we know that, we don't know, but let's go take a look at light sweet crude. Now, this has been one of the worst performing for the actual year out here. And right now, 50.67 is going to be the 0.786 retracement level. When we take a look at, we use a ruler, in case some of you are new to TFNN. If you are, welcome to the Hotel California. Maybe you're new to some of the technical analysis terms that we use out here. I like to use Fibonacci levels to help us identify floors inside the market. Now, in this case here, I'm going to go from the low floor back in 2009, and that was at a price point of 33.20 in light sweet crude, up to the high in 2011. That was out at 114.83. Now, this is quite a wide-ranging bar. Now, these levels out here oftentimes are where you see price try to find some support. Sometimes it just simply lets them folks off the elevator. Sometimes it's to go ahead and make a reversal out there. If we take a look at where light sweet crude is likely headed to, $50.67 right now, trade out at $52.51 as we speak right now. Let's take a look at natural gas. These are the continuous contracts that I'm putting up on my screen here, but just kind of a year in review. If we take a look at natural gas, it opened the year. No, I should say not. It opened. That's a worse performing asset. It's right now trading back into the 2012 levels out here. Not much that we can say about natural gas at this stage of the game. Trading into the 2012 swing point out there that says, hey, it can go down and it can test it. If we look at, let's look at the high grade copper out here. See what copper is doing. Now, this is supposed to be a indication of directionally speaking. The copper is supposed to have a directional correlation to the market. We can see that's not the case this year because it is near its yearly lows out here. What does that mean? That just means the correlation is not in effect, and so don't spend too much time focused on it. This is Steve Rhodes. This is TFNN. We'll be right back, folks. Told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
How would you feel if you had a powerful decision-making tool that has the ability to find high-probability trading opportunities across multiple time frames in equities, currencies, and futures? Search no more. Take advantage of the best trade with the TAS Profile Scanner. Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to help them make the best and most accurate decisions. Scan over 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments for high-probability trading setups utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time, for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. Subscribers will also gain access to the December 9th workshop with John Logan. There's no obligation to pay anything. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Check out the new look of TigerTV. Now you can see all hosts, charts, and computer screens live in high definition. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV. Now, crystal clear in high definition, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't seen the new look of TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back to the New Year's Eve edition of this morning's Trader's Edge show. You know, we were taking a look at during that last segment. We'll do that maybe during the next hour as well. Take a look at the indices and some other things, and just take a look at the from an annual standpoint what things did. But it is the December 31st edition out here, and so a question is, does December 31st have a preponderance of being an up day or a down day out here? I was just trying to go mark some of those dates on my system. Let's just go back to 2008, so we'll just go back the last 6 years out here. And so on December 31st, 2008, I'm assuming it was a open trading session. It was. Here it is. I'll just go ahead and put my little arrow out here. So just you just go ahead and keep track for me. But on December 31st, here we go, 2000. I got to put my arrow in the right spot. I will just leave it as a arrow. We didn't see a big movement. You saw the Dow open. This is the Dow that we're looking at, by the way, 86.66, closed out at 87.76. So you had a nice little, 100-point move or so inside of the Dow. So that was 2008. Remember, 2008, the market still had not made its lows, so that was December 31st then. In 2009, if we take a look at December 31st out here, we got to actually find it on my, there we go. December 31st was a down day for the Dow. The Dow actually opened at 10,548 and closed at 10,428 out there. So it's about 120-point move or so to the downside. Open and just continue to trade lower. So now we're 50-50 out here with regard to New Year's Eve trading. Let's go take a look at 2010. 2010 looks like we got a draw. The open was 11,569. The close was 11,577 out there. So you had, a total of about 8 points. So I would have to say that's a draw. So we're still at 1-1 out of 3 out here with regard to up-down days, with regard to New Year's Eve. Back on New Year's Eve, well, it was really December 30th back in 2011, kind of much like yesterday. So we didn't have a 31st out there. That mark was the mark. That must have been a Friday. Yep, must have been a Friday or a Monday out there. But on the 30th, we did see a move lower, just a slight bit lower. So at this stage here, hey, maybe December 31st really isn't just always a preponderance of bias to the upside out here, at least when we come back and take a look at it. But let's look at the year of 2012. December 31st was a nice up day inside of the Dow. That takes us, well, the open was at 12,938. The close was 13,104. So it was a pretty decent move inside the Dow. And, of course, from that point forward in 2013, it was absolutely off to the races out there. Those lows were never experienced again, so it was obviously a great year in 2013. 2014, here is the Dow. Let me go ahead and we had a nice up day, but that was putting in the high up until the February time frame. Come on, do this for me. Delete that. There we go. So if we take a look at the Dow on December 31st, 2013, as we closed out last year, the open was at 16,512. The close was at 16,576. We came back into the market on January 2nd. The market just simply, in essence, continued to, traded sideways up until January 21st, 22nd time frame. But the lows that came in, this first significant low was back on February the 5th out there. And so hopefully that helps you get a feel for New Year's Eve with regard to the Dow out here. Now, let's go take a look and see what the Dow actually, as long as we're over here, what the Dow actually did yesterday. As we take a look at the Dow, you'll see not really much in the way of price erosion out here. We've seen a little doji candle back here on December 24th on Christmas Eve. Doji candle at a high, at a resistance area has a ton of meaning. Now, the question is, on a shortened holiday trading session, is it going to have as much meaning? And the answer is not really, but we do have 4, 5 small-bodied candles really in a row out here, so we haven't done much since December 23rd. Price did pull back yesterday into that December 23rd level, but here's the thing, and I pointed this out to each of you yesterday during the first couple of hours. I think I did 2 hours yesterday. Yeah, I did. And that is that the Dow actually is the one that, even though we didn't see much in the way of price erosion out here, the Dow actually turned to the negative side. The bears have the ball today inside of the Dow. So now that we've gone back and we've taken a look at the Dow since, 2008, I believe it was, and I think it's kind of a toss-up there. You can at least say from 2008 through 2013, there's no preponderance of evidence that December 31st is going to be an up day and or a down day out there. So I just simply think you come back and you take a look at the charts and take a look at the patterns out here. What's really going to be important about today's session is what happens. Does the Dow close lower? Because the sellers, the bears, actually have the ball. We're open all day out here. If they trade lower, that's going to have to make you say, something to think about. This is Steve Rhodes. This is TFNN. We'll be right back, folks.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization execution capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Each and every time that the dollar ticks higher, S&P wants higher price. Each and every time that the dollar's ticking lower, guess what? S&P wants lower price. Dollar, the metals, and the S&P are going tick for tick.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
We're off to the races. We got the Dow up 28 points, trading out at 18,011. S&P up 2, trading out at 2,083. Composite up 10 points at 47.87. Russell 2,000 up 2 at 12.15. Gold back $4. Silver back 25 pennies. Light sweet crude off $1.26. Leading the charge to the upside, it is Meadowbrook Insurance, I believe. No, Virgin America. VA is the ticker symbol, up $1.08. Meadowbrook Insurance, so that's up $1.31. We're going to put that back in the first place, up 18%. IBM up $1.17 as we speak. Home Depot up 74 cents. American Airlines, that's up 70 pennies out here. To the downside, we've got Neuroderm, NDRM, up about 10% this morning, off about $1.70. EOG Resources down 97 cents. You've got Schlumberger up 94. It is the XLE inside the S&P 500. That sector getting hit this morning, off 65 cents as we speak right now. National Oil Well Varco, NOV, down 65 cents. Now, with regards to, we took a look at charts on a annual basis, a yearly basis, I should say. Let's go take a look at what's going on intraday. Let me just give you a feel for what's happening intraday, or at least what the market has been doing out here. And this is really just coming off of yesterday's highs, and really it's just been making A to B equals CD down and up patterns. So if we take a look at that's the lightning bolt pattern for those of you that are new to what I'm referring to. The market works in wave forms on a continuous basis. And if we take a look at the A point, that's our beginning of our lightning bolt. That's going to be this high that came in right around the midnight time frame. Last night out here. This is a 30-minute chart that we're, not last night, the night before, that we're looking at. Makes a move down here into a swing point at about 4:30 in the morning. That becomes your B point. Your C point is this little move higher up into resistance of the TAS market profile. And we can see it makes basically an exact 1-to-1, A to B equals CD. Gets down to 2,073. That was a price point. Makes a nice bullish formation out here. In fact, it makes two bullish reversal candles. Little Morningstar reversal candle. That's this 3 candle. Now, I teach the A to B equals CD pattern, which is a pattern you absolutely, it's got to be a must on your system, for your knowledge out there. I teach that in my 7-week trading course. You can still sign up for that. In fact, the next 3-hour workshop is going to be when we get back from New Year's. Not this Friday, but the following Friday, January 9th, 3-hour live workshop. You get access to me by phone, email, Skype, whatever it is that you need. I teach you about these patterns, but more importantly, I teach you about the candlestick signals out there that you need to really focus on. In the case here of this 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. To the downside, we got another bullish confirmation that the bulls wanted to defend 2,073. That was yesterday. That was in the evening this morning as well. That was really last night going into the close. Nice little bull sash candle. Price goes ahead, makes a 0.618 retracement. There's our Fibonacci numbers. It got up to this high at 2:30 this morning. Actually made just a perfect 0.618 retracement out there. Of course, when it was doing that, it was also completing an A to B equals CD. Let's go take a look. That was an A to B equals CD to the downside. Now let's take a look at the A to B equals CD to the upside out here. Here's your 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. So it does that at a price point objective of 2,082. It got just a tad higher than that. Come on, don't do that to me. It got just a tad higher than that. Got up to 2,082.75. You got to love that. 3 ticks. Now, the question is, are we seeing an A to B equals CD to the downside out here? Well, if we are, let's go take a look. May have already formed for, let's take a look at this. So here's our A point. This morning's high. The low at about 7 o'clock this morning is our B point. The C point, yeah, it's already made a 1 to 1.272. A to B equals CD to the downside. That price objective was 2076.25. What we saw here was 2076.25 out here. Now, we haven't seen any kind of bullish reversal signal as we speak right now. So what does that say to us? That says if we don't see any buyers, any bulls come in, what we're going to see is we're going to see a move down to about the 2075 level, 2074.75 to 2075. That would be the next floor that price would go ahead and trade down to. Of course, if it does that, we're probably getting towards a 0.618 retrace. Maybe it's 0.786. Let's go take a look at the Fibonacci retracement off of the low of that little bull sash candle all the way up to this high out here. Yeah, sure enough. Right now, you've made a 0.618 Gartley buy with that move down to the 2076 and a quarter level, but no bullish reversal signal. So that just says prices can continue and really should continue to move on lower just to that next level, 2074, before perhaps it goes ahead and turns around. I say perhaps because what you have to do is just like fishing. If I can show you where the fish are, which is really what I do with regard to the pattern tools out here, there are people that say that you can't time the market. I say BS to that. That's all before Steve. I'll show you the tools that allow you to be able to do that, how to sit at those fishing holes and then go ahead and pull the trigger out there. So the market just making a series of A to B equals CD down patterns, but that's on the intraday charts. That's just a 30-minute chart. You won't see that same pattern on a daily chart. Now, let's go take a look at some things here that are moving to the upside. Hey, how about this Red Hill Biopharma? That is trading up 24% as we speak this morning. Not to be convinced, not to be, is it Red Bull? Is that the 5-hour energy drink out there? Is that what they call it? I don't know. I've never tasted one of those. Never plan on ever tasting one of those. Hey, Me? Do you really think I need a 5-hour? And I need a 5-hour unenergy drink out there. Of course, I would never go ahead and actually taste that either. Nonetheless, let's go take a look at Red Hill out here. If we take a look at Red Hill, it's trading into a swing point from December the 10th. That price high was $13.45. No volume to speak of. 22,000 shares. It's done 115,000 shares today. It's saying if it takes out that high, it should take out that high. It should actually form an A to B equals C to the upside. That 8 point's going to come off of this hammer candle down here on November the 11th, 11/11. Sounds like a Vegas rolling the dice to me. How are you at playing craps out there? Are you a good craps player in Vegas? I remember, is it called beginner's luck? I remember the very first time that I played craps. It was, 30 some odd years ago in St. Martin's, of all places, out there. And that first go-round, that first night, man, that was a beautiful thing. I was I walk away from that craps table and said, could it really be that easy? Night number 2, I got the answer to that. No, it was not that easy. Should have just stuck with night number 1 out there. In any event, when I play craps out there, I go ahead and what do you call it? The line? What do you when you actually can bet, right, where you're going to not make the number, or you're just simply going to initially roll a what is it? Is it a 3? Is that what I can't even remember? That's how good. You don't want me playing craps for you out there. Hey, Texas Hold'em, whole different story. In any event, let's get back to Red Hill Biopharma. You don't want me to get off there. You got Red Hill Biopharma. Looks like it's headed up to about $16.66. Once it gets above $13.45 out there, it's swing point high. It's got the volume to do it. We'll see if it's got any other energy in order to do that. Also to the upside, we got ISIS Pharmaceuticals. That's trading out at $63.30. ISIS Pharmaceuticals has a swing point out here with volume. It wants to go test that. That's the December 19th level. That high is 67.12. You're trading right now at 63.27. Volume out there, 10 million shares on that high. So that's where that wants to head to, that little puppy. United Airlines, let's go take a look at that, up about 2% this morning, up $1.25. Let's go see what that is trading into. Well, they got United Airlines trying to take out its December 12th high, 12.12. Boxcars. Now, I can throw boxcars out there. And usually, when I play craps, I don't do it too often. But I do like putting money on the hard 10. I'm pretty good at rolling that hard 10, those double nickels out there. And then what's that? The payout is what? It's like about 7 to 1, 8 to 1, something like that. I like that. I've also got a couple of numbers on the roulette table that I like to play. Now, that's always a nice payout, isn't it? Like 30 some odd to 1 out there. In any event, let's take a look at United Airlines trying to deal with its swing point here from December the 12th. 8 million shares out there. The top of that swing is 67.40. You're trading right now at 67.31. Volume today, 184,000 shares. It's going to be a light volume day, but nonetheless, maybe it's going to have the volume to take that out. If it does, then what you're looking at is a very large A to B equals C to the upside inside of United Airlines. To the downside out here, we got Anadarko Petroleum. APC is the ticker symbol. Let's go take a look at that. That's trading out at about $81.51, right into its TAS point of control, the area where buyers and sellers are most comfortable with. That's at $80.95. So it's not all the way down there. Actually, Anadarko Petroleum here, doesn't look too bad on the pullback out here. We'll get a better feel as we come back. Not this Friday when the markets open back up, but perhaps not until the following Monday out here. It does have a low out here that's got some volume, 10.4 million shares out there. There hasn't been any big sign of strength off of the bottom out here, so it does say that level could get tested. $71 is the low, the high $76.35. APC is its ticker symbol. Also to the downside, really a lot of energy out here. Let's just go take a look at the XLE. Well, it's Occidental Petroleum. We haven't looked at Occidental. Let's stick around with a couple more of these equities. We can go take a look at the XLE in just a bit. Now, in the case of Occidental, I know each of these here have still not been able to repair their window, not been able to repair that gap down that occurred here back on November 28th. This case here was 8.7 million shares to the downside, which it had 8.7 million shares to the upside off of the bottom back on December 17th. So, it's starting to lose its energy, looking like it's starting to lose its energy to the downside. Now, what will be interesting and what we want to do is take a look at light sweet crude, knowing that it's coming into that 0.786 area that we took a look at, because that's probably the first spot That's the first logical spot for us to take a look at where maybe energy starts to bounce out here. But again, my whole belief system on the energy thing is that it's not so much about supply and demand like everybody else is out there, shouting about. I mean, really, this has been nothing more than the Putin play to just simply put pressure on them until that guy starts to fold out here. I almost think, in the case of light sweet crude, you're better off looking for some other area to play in out here. But that's just Stevie thinking for what that's worth out there. Now, what have we? So we take a look at some stocks. Let's look at Home Depot. That's up 1% here this morning. HD is the ticker symbol. She's at all-time highs out here, trading out at 105.32. Let's put this on a weekly chart, get a feel for any kind of pattern that might be completing out here, if anything. Shoot, let's put this on a yearly chart out here, right? Talk about we had some stocks on a yearly chart. Take a look at that for the year. Now, that's a performer for the year. This is Home Depot that we're looking at. This is at its basically at its highs, all-time highs. As we mentioned, it's traded out at 105.38 out here. This thing had opened up the year at $82. So that is a nice move out here inside of Home Depot. Let's take a look at what it's doing, though, see if there's any pattern that it is completing. And if we look at the weekly time frame, that's what we're going to go ahead and start with, see if we can see any. Here's your A to B equals C. Now, let's just do it monthly. It'll be a little bit easier for you to see on your screen out here as soon as I can find the letter M. So here is that's amazing. Here's the monthly A to B equals CD pattern. Little monthly hammer candle down here on August of 2011, 0 point. Man, it's pretty tough to really even call this a B point, but we're going to have to. Looks like maybe what we would use is July 2013 and just a slight pullback into that monthly point of control. So this says that Home Depot probably wants to make a move up to the 125 level, another $20 to the north out here inside of Home Depot, looking pretty good, looking pretty strong. Now, let's go back. And, we haven't looked at currency pairs. Let's go take a look at currency pairs. Let's go take a look at the euro. In fact, I'll switch over since I've got a 15-minute delay. No, it's just, who cares if it's a 15-minute delay? Let's just simply stay with it here as we take a look at the euro. So the euro's got, this is the monthly chart. Okay, great. So we got the monthly chart here for the euro. Let's go see what it is that we can find. Shoot, let's go take a look at the yearly chart. What's the yearly chart here look like? It doesn't look, okay. This is actually kind of cool for us to look at. What we can see with regard to the euro on the yearly chart here, it just really sticks out, is just take a look at the consolidation pattern, in essence, that it has been in. Wow, take a look at that. Consolidation anywhere between the 117 area up to about 145. So we want to keep that in mind, the 117 area. Now, if we switch back to a daily time frame here for the euro, what we're going to see is that the next level of where this ought to find some kind of support, and that's the euro we're looking at, is about the 1.207 area. That's your one-to-one A to B equals CD. If it doesn't hold there, much like we took a look at the A to B equals CD to the downside on the 30-minute chart here for the ES Mini. Remember, here we are. I'm just teaching you how to actually fish. What we can see is that I never saw any kind of bullish formation at that 1 to 1.272. As we said, inside the ES Mini, the next level for it to move down to is about 2,075 or 2,075.50 right now. We ought to expect that level to get tagged. That's your 0.786 area. That is also your 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD. Does it mean that it's going to turn there? The answer is no. It doesn't. It means you got to sit here. You got to know your candlestick patterns. That's like you've got to know your cuts of beef. If you like that segment on David Letterman, he's getting ready to wrap up, isn't he? I can't stay up late to watch those shows. I can tape them, I suppose, but I can't stay up. 8 o'clock. My eyes start to get tired, and going to bed actually kind of sounds pretty good. But I am the early bird that catches the early worm. To me, there's nothing like being up early in the morning when it's nice and quiet, nothing really going on around you. Man, you can think, and that's a beautiful thing. This is Steve Rhodes. This is TFNN. We'll be right back.
take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch Steve Rhodes as he teaches techniques on technical analysis using pattern recognition, celestial charting, Fibonacci, and other tools. The Trader's Edge, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow is up 32 points on this New Year's Eve edition of the opening bell out here at Trader's Edge. S&P is up about 2 points. No big deal out there. Composite up 11. Russell 2000 up 3 points out here. Quick check-in on a couple of things. Let's go back to the summation index here for the Dow. Still not above the zero line. That's so it's broken below level of support. Let me put this up on the screen here for you. Where it finishes today is going to be important. It's going to be an important signal. So breaks below support. That's our green horizontal line going across the screen out here. That's the 0 line. Breaks below it. Right now it's at minus 0.13. It means it needs a couple more issues to turn positive out here inside of the Dow in order to get back above the 0. But we're interested in what happens at 4 o'clock today. Does it just simply test this area where it is right now? Right now it's almost at the 0 line and then just simply moves back below it. Or does it just simply say that yesterday was nothing more than a little bit of a false break to the downside out here? And that would say that we would see this get back above the 0 line out there. That would say that the sellers, the bears, were unable to do anything with the ball. If we take a look also at the VIX index right now, that is trading at 1619. That did close above the 50-day exponential moving average. Today, that 50-day is priced out at 1557. That is another level that you want to watch. If the VIX gets back below 1557, says, hey, the work to the upside may not be done. But because it closed above it yesterday, you got to be careful. Got to be careful. Today I think maybe things, looks like they're just simply going to be, not too much to the upside or to the downside out here. Of course, I don't really know what it's going to close at 4 o'clock any more than just paying attention to the patterns out here. So we'll watch the ES Mini 30-minute chart because it's the one that's been making the best A to B equals CD patterns out there. And if we see a bullish reversal signal after taking a look at that 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD down there, then we'll know that the selling to the downside is over, at least for the moment, if not for the day out there. But nonetheless, the VIX is traveling higher out there. So it says that options traders are getting a little twitchy. And when they get twitchy and the VIX gets above the 50-day exponential moving average, it's also another way of saying that liquidity has dried up out there. When liquidity dries up, there's only one direction for price to go in the stock market, and that is into the no, I was not going to say that word. Somebody out there was thinking I was going to actually screw up and say that. No, it's just simply one direction, and that's a lower out there. Well, come on, this is a children's show. So at least I hope it is. I hope there's a kid inside of you. Now, let's go take a look at kind of lost track there. How did I do that? How did I lose track? Oh, I know what I wanted to do. We had a request inside our Tigers Den for one of our new members checked back in this morning, and the question was he wants to get in on a short in the XLF, the FAZ. Now, if we take a look at the XLF, that's the ETF that is probably best to take a look at when trading the FAZ. Of course, it's really best to look at the top 10 holdings of any ETF that you trade to see what those are doing. I don't have enough time to do that in the next minute. Here's what I can tell you with regard to the XLF. If you wanted to sell that, right about now is the time to do it. 25.14 is its TAS market profile high. That is the only thing that I can find that is bearish about the XLF, though. There's been no reversal candle whatsoever. So if you're trying to sell the top tick, about right now is when you do it. I would just say you're better off because if there's going to be any significant reversal inside of the XLF, you're going to see some type of bullish reversal signal. And gosh darn it, we just simply don't have that as we speak right now. So I say be careful out there with your trading. Preponderance of evidence says that the market actually moves up into next week, early next week out there at a minimum, and we'll see how that plays out. Folks, if you're off to start your day, have a wonderful Wednesday, a magical New Year's Eve. Be safe out there. I look forward to seeing you bright and early on Friday morning. Otherwise, stay tuned. Hour 2 of the Trader's Edge is up next. Take care, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.